Hi, I'm Lynette and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you swatches and a tutorial of 2 looks using the new Pat McGrath Rose Decadence palette. Okay, so I didn't plan on buying this palette, but it's my birthday. Okay, today's not my birthday. The date I'm filming this is not my birthday, but by the time you see this video, it may be. So I'm gonna be talking in another video, probably in a live this week, about my feelings around my birthday during Rona. So I'll just say that, you know, the fact that all my birthday plans were canceled has me feeling some kind of way, and it led to my making some purchases that I wouldn't have typically made, but I did, and this is one of them. So this is the new palette from Pat McGrath. It's a new 6-pan mini palette, Rose Decadence, and it took everybody surprised. I know it took me by surprise because she just released, as you know, the Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2 eyeshadow palette, the full size, and this one, as you know, is full of pink and mauve and rosy tones. So for her to follow that up immediately with another pink rose tone palette was unexpected. So this is the Rose Decadence. As I said, it is a 6-pan mini palette. Packaging, as always, is beautiful. I love these big hieroglyphic stickers right here, and then on the back you have the ingredients. It has a 12-month shelf life after you open it, and it's made in the USA. And then when you open it, now the opening is the same packaging of the Star Wars mini palettes, where it's just a magnetic closure. Her original 6-pan mini palettes had the flap and had like the little rubber twist band on it, which a lot of people don't like because it makes the palette, it doesn't stay open when you try to use the eyeshadows in the palette. So I do like this one. It's just much simpler, and the magnet on these little 6-pan palettes that are packaged in this way is really good. So these shadows seem like they're going to be secure. Now I have to say, this binding here, when I open and close it, I don't feel like it's going to last very long. I feel like the middle part here is going to start tearing and ripping. So I mean, it is cardboard, so that worries me just a bit. This palette is $65, a $10 increase from last year when these palettes used to be $55. And I know I keep mentioning that, but I'm still salty about that price raise. So now, as I said, I wasn't planning to buy this palette because I just picked up the Divine Rose 2 palette, and I felt like that's all the pink that I really needed. But I went on ahead and got this one on the day of launch. I believe it is now at Sephora. Here is the palette. You open it up, and you know, it just like all of her other palettes, mini palettes, it does have the mirror, and then it has the names of the eyeshadows on a plastic insert. I would prefer, of course, to have the names in the actual palette, but honestly, I mean, unless you're a YouTuber, you don't need the names of the eyeshadows on it. I mean, if this was a magnetized palette and she sold them in singles, and when you hit pan on a palette, on a single eyeshadow, and you wanted to pop it out and replace it, then it would be, of course, important to have the names, but it's not. But if you're gonna have names for your eyeshadows, then it would be nice if they were on the palette and not on a plastic insert that can get lost. Inside you have the eyeshadows, and they range from rosy mauve tones to peachy tones, and then of course she has her ever-present gold eyeshadow, which I'm not a fan of. I rarely use gold eyeshadows, but this gold, as you'll see, because I'm about to swatch this palette, this gold is a nice gold. It's not a brassy, bright gold. It's more of a bronzy pewter-ish type golds. Anyway, I'm going to swatch them for you. And I'm going to just start from here across and then here across. And this first shade is Pink Champagne, and this is Peach Dusk, and this is Fuchsia Flame right here. And Fuchsia Flame looks like it's got a little duochromosity to it. So Pink Champagne, Peach Dusk, Fuchsia Flame. Very, very, very beautiful. And then here we have Hedonistic Rose, which is a matte shadow. There are only two mattes in this palette, Hedonistic Rose and this one, Peach Dusk. Peach Dusk is the other matte. And this is Scandalous. And this is Golden Honey. Hedonistic Rose. Scandalous, oh, gorgeous, and Golden Honey. Absolutely beautiful. And these are the eyeshadows up close. And they're really, really, really pretty. The Scandalous, this shade right here, Scandalous, has a bit of red in it. And as I said, this Golden Honey that's a good description, a good name for it. It's not a brassy gold. It's a nice soft golden honey gold. Consistent with Pat McGrath's eyeshadow formula, the mattes feel really smooth, and then the metallics feel really smooth and soft also. Yeah, and they're all really pretty. So today I'm going to do one look on each eye using the Rose Decadence palette, so you can get an idea of maybe some of the looks that you can do with this palette. So I'm going to zoom you in and we're going to get started. The rest of my makeup is already done, which you know I don't typically do. But so I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Primer Potion, the anti-aging, and I'm going to use that as my eyeshadow base today, because I'm going to use that as my primer, because I don't want to go in with a base and fool around with that now that I already have all my makeup done. And hopefully I won't make a mess and get fallout on my face. That's why I always do my eyeshadow first. Now you're going to be limited in the colors or the mattes that you can put in your crease and to deepen up your look if you choose to use just this palette, because you only have two matte shades, and it's the Peach Dusk right here, and then this shade right here. And this doesn't go very deep, so yeah. So I'm going to start off with probably the obvious choice for a crease shade, and I'm going to go in here with, what is this, Peach Dusk, and I'm taking that on a Sonia G Blender Pro, and I'm going to tap off the excess, because as you can see it picked up a lot of product, and again I don't want to get any fallout on my face. And I'm gonna try to go in here real lightly, and you know, to be expected from Pat McGrath, her matte shadows are nice and pigmented, so I'm going to get some pigmentation right off the bat, but they are also very easy to blend. And I mean, when you have, I'm just going to build that up a little bit, when you have an excellent eyeshadow formula, and then a great brush like this Sonia G brush, blending is just really effortless. Doesn't take much time at all. Really pretty and soft. And I'm just making this up as I go along, so just so you know, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with this look. So now I'm going to go in with Hedonistic Rose, and that's the other matte shade in this palette. And I'm taking a Delium Tools 777 shadow brush, and look at the pigmentation that the product you're getting on there. So again, I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm going to go in on the outer V area with this shade, and I'm going to take it back. I said this doesn't go very deep. It is looking quite deep. I should have made that assertion anyway. I haven't used these shadows yet, so I don't really know how deep it goes. I can't really say. But it's doing a nice job of deepening up the outer V. And I'm going to take that a little bit up and into the crease. And once again, I don't feel like I need a lot of this eyeshadow because it is nice and pigmented. And I will be going back in once I put on my lid shades, I'm sure, just to deepen it up some more. Okay, so far so good. And now for some lid shades. What we gonna do here? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Well, I definitely want to go in with this shade right here, which is Skins. Is it? No, that's not the one I want to go in with. Fuchsia Flame. I want to go in with Fuchsia Flame, that one right here. And it's a little bit of a duochrome, like pink, violet. It's really beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to put that on the middle to outermost part of my lid. And I'm using a Sonia G, what is this? A Builder Pro. You know, just any flat packing brush or shader brush. So I'm going in with it first dry because I want to see what it looks like dry, and it's really pretty, really purple-esque with like a little shift of pink. Very, very pretty. But again, fairly soft, at least in my opinion. Now with the 6-pan palettes, you're not going to get any of Pat's special shades, but I don't think that takes away from the value of these palettes. Some people have a hard time, or they don't prefer the special shades because they're very glittery and you will get fallout. So if you're okay with not getting those shades in a palette, you know, I was gonna wet it, but I don't think I am because I'm liking this. So I'm just gonna turn my brush on the other side, and I'm gonna go in with Scandalous, which is this shade right here. And I'm just going to put that on the inside corner of the eye. Again, making sure to tap off the brush before I go in with Okay, this time I didn't top it off. And this is the one that has a bit of red in it, which I think is gonna work very well with that peach that's in the crease. And I'm actually gonna bring that around a bit. Give this look, I look a little more interest. And see, and I just got it down there, which I didn't want to do. And yeah, I think it blends in very nicely with that lid shade. All right, and now I'm going to go back in with our dark matte shade, Hedonistic Rose. And I just want to deepen up the outer edge here. Make sure we blend it into that lid shade, that fuchsia flame shade, and it blends in so beautifully with that shade because they are pretty much the same hue, except this one is darker and matte. And then I'm going to go in with the first, just a little bit of the peach dusk matte shade that we started off with, and just blend out the edges of all of those shadows we just placed on the outer corner and on the lid, a little bit up into the crease. All right, and now I'm going to go in with a small pencil brush, and I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take Peach Dusk. That's the shade we started with in the crease, and I'm just going to go down on here to my lower lash line with that shade. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. And I'm going to wipe off the brush, and I'm going to go into that Hedonistic Rose. I shouldn't be doing that. There's eyeshadow on that brush, but I have some fallout here. And I'm going to put that on the lower lash line as well. And connect it here to that shade, the same shade that's on the outer V. Oops, dipped into the wrong shade there. Now I'm going to go back into Scandalous, that reddish metallic shade, and I'm going to place that onto the lower lash line. I'm using these shadows dry, but I think I want to amp this up just a little bit, so I am going to go on ahead and wet my brush. I don't know if I have anything left in this bottle. Okay, we got a little something. So I'm gonna wet that and put that on the lower lash line. And I'm also going to put it in the inner corner. Okay, and just touch up this matte shade here because you want to make sure you're blending these shadows together. All right, and then I I don't really want to do a brow bone highlight, but I'm going to. And I'm going to take Pink Champagne right here. I'm going to take Pink Champagne and I'm going to use it dry. And I'm going to place that right there under my brow arch. Okay. You know, I don't normally like to take metallic or shimmer shades under my brow, but I've been liking to do that. Does that sound right? With these Pat McGrath eyeshadows. And yeah, that's really pretty. That's not too much. So I'm going to go on and put on some mascara, and then this look will be, oh, I got to do a waterline too. Let's see, what do I want to do for my waterline? I have a pink from ColourPop, and then I have this purple from ColourPop. I think I'm going to go with the purple. This is Piggy Bank from ColourPop, and I'm not crazy about these ColourPop eye gel liners because they tend to give me problems. So we'll see if I can get this one to go on or not. Okay, I think that'll do it. Yeah, I think that worked. Okay, so off camera, I just put on some lash primer and mascara, and I tight lined with a brown eyeliner pencil, and this is the finished look. This is the finished look on this eye. I think it's absolutely, oh God, I didn't let my mascara dry. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So soft. Okay, I am going to go back in with Peach Dusk, that peach matte shade. And I'm gonna start off again with that in my crease. I think it's a really nice crease shade. Sets the mood quite nicely. And I like to take that around to the outer corner of my eye. And I primed again using my Urban Decay Primer Potion Anti-Aging. And I also tight lined as well. I might have to tight line again when it's all over, but I went on ahead and tight lined. And now I'm going to go in with Scandalous on the same brush, and I'm going to put that in the crease as well. So we're gonna have a very like peachy red crease here. And now I'm going to take Golden Honey right here, and I'm going to place that on the inner portion of, oh, I'm going to put it on the lid. And this one, yeah, okay, going on silky smooth. I feel like this one has a little more texture in it, perhaps, than the other shimmers I've used thus far. Getting it up there into the crease over my eye fold. And then I'm just gonna wipe off that brush, turn it on the other side, and I'm gonna go in with Fuchsia Flame because I love this color so much. And I'm gonna work it on there in the outer V area and partially onto that gold. Ooh, and look how pretty that is. Ooh. Ooh. Very pretty. Very pretty. Oh, I should have gone into the crease with that shade. Right? I still can, you know. I still can. You know what? I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take that, ooh, Fuchsia Flame, ooh, and I'm gonna throw it up there in my crease as well. I'm not afraid of a little shimmer in my crease. No, ma'am. Okay, and now I'm going to take on a different brush, my mini booster. I'm going to take that matte shade, Hedonistic Rose, and place that right there on the outer V area. And I'm also going to place that on my lower lash line. I know I should be using a smaller brush for this because I don't have a lot of real estate down there. And I'm sorry if it's looking very dark in my monitor. It's looking like the lighting is very dark, so my apologies for that. I hope you can see everything that I'm doing. Okay, and now what do I want to do on the outer corner? You know what? We haven't used that pink champagne anywhere but under this brow. So I'm going to go in with the pink champagne. And I'm going to use this tiny, what is this? Flat definer brush from Sonia G. And I'm going to place that on the inner corner, bring it down onto the lower lash line. Ooh, ooh, I like that. Ooh, and blend it in here as well. You know what? I'm going to take it outside here too and really lighten up this look. Then I'm going to take that same brush and wipe it off and go back in with Hedonistic Rose because I need to darken this up a bit. I'm going back in with Peach Dust just a little bit and just blend out the edge of the shadow here. Alright, and now I'm going to take a gold, I don't know how this is gonna look, but I'm gonna take a gold eyeliner. This one is from Urban Decay, and I'm gonna place that into the waterline if I can get it to stick, because my waterline gets pretty watery, so sometimes it can be difficult to get liner on there. But that was easy peasy. That's why I love the Urban Decay liner so much. And I'm gonna go in with some mascara and then I'll be right back. Okay, and then, so this is the final eyeshadow looks. So this is look number 1 with the beautiful fuchsia flame and really pretty. I feel like really kind of subtle. You do get a nice little pop. You do get a nice little pop right there in the inner corner with that reddish shade. Really pretty. And then we've got this side with the gold, where in there in the front of the lid. And then I really liked how that fuchsia flame blended in with the gold there. Really pretty. And then we have the shimmer in the crease. You could of course go in with any one of the matte shades in the crease, but you know, I like to switch it up and show you other options you can do if you don't mind a little shimmer metallic shimmer in your crease. So I'm going to zoom you out and we're going to apply some blush and some highlights. So for blush, I am going to go in with Hedonistic Rose right here. That's that deep rose matte shade. And I think if you have a deep complexion like me, I think this will totally work as as a blush for you. And I did put on setting spray before I did my eye look like a dummy. So I don't know if that's gonna affect the application, but it looks like it's going on. All right, I think I got it in my hair too. Okay, so not bad at all. I think I'm also going to go in with Fuchsia Flame, that beautiful metallic, and I'm gonna sort of use that as a blush topper. And I'm liking that. I'm not going to even lie. Look at that. Let's just put it all over the blush. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. I think I might have gone a little too far. I think I might have gone a little too far, y'all. You know, when you have all these lights on here in the studio, sometimes you really can't see. Okay, and I was gonna play with some highlight, but I don't think I need any highlight. Zooming you out, and on my lips I have Pat McGrath Madame Grige and Divine Rose lip gloss over top, and of course my MAC chestnut lip liner. And this is the look, y'all. What do you think? Which eye do you like better. I know which one I like better. But you tell me in the comments which one you like. So this is the palette. Now, I think it's beautiful. I think it performed beautifully. Of course, the shadows in this palette, are the same quality that you get in the large mothership palettes. Excuse me. That you get in the large mothership palettes. So you're not skimping. If you decide to get a mini palette over a mothership full-size palette, you're not skimping on formula. Now, if you have the Divine Rose 2 palette, if you have the Divine Rose 1 palette, I don't have the Divine Rose 1, so I can't really speak on it, only the pictures that I've seen of it, because I don't actually have it here in person. If you have the Divine Rose 2, are you asking yourself, do I need this mini palette? And I don't think you do. I don't think you do at all. Let me get this out of here. I don't think you do at all. I feel like in the full-size Divine Rose 2 palette, you get plenty of pink plummy shades. You get your light goldy type shades, you get your gold shades, you get your peach shades. I mean, you get that fantastic trio chrome there, Sextraterrestrial, your peaches, more peach. You do get like a peachy matte shade, and you do get a darker plum matte shade, just like you do in this one. So if you have the full size one, I absolutely don't think getting the mini size is necessary. Of course, if you are a collector, I'm a bit of a collector like I am, then yeah, you probably will go ahead and get them, and then that's fine too, because I think these two palettes certainly complement one another. So this mini palette is sort of just an extension of the full-size Divine Rose 2 palette. And if you have any of the other mini palettes, I think that they will complement those as well. The La Vie Rose palette, it has pinky and purple and peach tones in it. And then there is the Metamorphosis, which is a all shimmer palette, which you could certainly, it has a purple and a similar gold, and then this beautiful bronze shade that is, I think is that a duochrome? Not a duochrome, but beautiful. And then there's the Star Wars mini palette, again, beautiful plum shades in it, and that gorgeous purple. So I definitely think this palette will complement many of the Pat McGrath palettes. This is the Star Wars Galactic Gold palette, beautiful, would complement that one nicely as well. And then the quads, you know, she has the Ritualistic Rose quad with more pink eyeshadows. If I can get it open to show. Okay, really open? If I get it open to show you. More pink and bronzy gold tones, so would complement this quad also. So yeah, so if you decide to collect it and to get it, even with the Divine Rose or the Divine Rose 1 or Divine Rose 2 full-size palettes, I think it will complement those very nicely. If you're someone who doesn't want to maybe get the full, you don't have Divine Rose 2 and you didn't really want Divine Rose 2 because, you know, you don't want all of those pink eyeshadows, you're not into pinky plum shades like that, maybe this is a good choice for you because it's edited down, so to speak, and it's just 6 shades as opposed to 10. I don't know why I can't get this. Oh Lord, I'm gonna have to work with this monitor off camera. We need to have a conversation. We need to come to an agreement. Anyway, if you know, if you would prefer a more edited down palette that has 6 shades as opposed to 10 pink champagne-y themed shades, then I think this will be a great palette for that. And then what I like about this palette is, as you can see from this eye, it's not like pow in your face. Pat McGrath doesn't do a lot of like in your face in terms of shimmery, like you're gonna see the shimmer from space kind of thing, unless you wet the shadows and you want a little more oomph to them. They're still more soft. I'm not gonna say muted, but they're like softer in tone, a lot of her shimmer metallic shades. So I feel like with this one, this palette, you could certainly put a look together that's not so bold or in your face, that's softer, that you could put together a look to wear to work. I think it's a beautiful palette. I think it'll be a wonderful addition to any collection. But if you're on the fence about whether you need this and this, I don't think you do. I think you could pick one or the other and be great with that. I think if you have this palette, for me, this palette really encompasses it all. So I don't really need any more pink tone. I could do without all the other pink palettes and be just fine with just this one. But up to you. Let me know, do you have this palette? Did you buy this palette? Are you on the fence about it? Are you planning to get it? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you found this video helpful at all. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing, because I do tutorials, hauls, swatches, and reviews here on my channel every Saturday. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, bye bye.